you tired of dyeing your hair? More and more women are daring to show their true colors. Going gray is more popular than ever. Even models are sporting sleek styles in silver and white. Now, Greg Bessa of G Best Salon gives us the do's and don'ts of going gray gracefully. Good to see you,
Greg.
Nice
to have you here.
Of course, I always see you every time I'm in the salon.
Yes,
so.
yes.
All right,
but you have no gray, do you?
Thanks to Greg. So I don't have any. Thank you for doing that,
You're
by
welcome.
the way, and keeping
Yes.
our secret, unlike
Yes.
what Dave just did for me.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Well, let's talk about going gray, because does seem to be getting more and more popular. People are sticking with the really, really going gray. But then you've got that in-between time. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to bring in Chris, our producer. Chris, come in here, because we've been talking about this with Chris. So, Chris, show what's going, because she's trying to grow her gray out.
Let's see.
Can you see it? Yes.
Right.
Can you see that? Yes, there we go. There we go.
Chris is a good example
Yeah.
of someone growing it out. She's done the right thing. She's had highlights added, and now she's in the transition process. It's a very slow process. Usually every 6 inches of hair is worth a year of time, so it's slow. Highlighting.
Year.
Yeah, it takes a year or two to grow out most cases.
So is the idea then you can't go cold turkey? You can't just stop dyeing your hair?
No, cold turkey I don't recommend.
Okay.
If you do that, then you've got the real gray roots and then your old color, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So you want to do it in transition. She's doing it. The first step is the right thing to do is highlight it first. You put highlights in with your brown hair to de-emphasize the gray. Then you wait like she is. So now the next step will be to actually add brown back into it. So first you start with light, then you add brown. So after summer, the hair will fade like it has now. The next step now is to add dark back into it, which will match your natural color, take away the discolored highlights, and cover some of the gray.
Okay,
the key is some of the gray. You don't want to color it all in the process.
Well, when you color my hair and you change like this, it's darker than it has been in a while.
Right.
You always tell me now, be ready, be mentally ready for this, because it's going to look different.
Right.
And that's probably the same way it has to go with going gray. You got to be mentally prepared to go gray.
Right. The whole idea of coloring your hair is really to look younger. And your friend Wayne Newton,
Yeah, he's
I think the
blonde.
reason he was thrown off the show is because, man, that's black hair color.
Yeah,
it
that's
just
bad.
doesn't look good.
And there just comes a point for people when they're gray, when they're older than people in our studio today, but where they try to hide it, and it just doesn't work. does it?
The idea is to look younger if you're going to color some gray, and if it's all colored, it actually, defeats the purpose.
Right.
You want it to look believable. As we age, the whole idea of gray is to soften the lines and to go with the new skin color you have. So if your hair is as dark as it was and you're 30 or 40 years of age as high school, it's the wrong color
It's the
for
wrong
you.
color.
It's the
You
wrong
mentioned
color.
skin. Does your skin color change a little
Yes,
bit?
it fades.
Yeah, so that's why Wayne looks so funny.
Yes, right. It looks like he's bleaching his skin.
Yeah, okay.
All right, and then you also say to expect different reactions if you decide to go all gray, because people are used to seeing you a certain way.
Yeah.
And when you all of a sudden go all gray, then they're going to react differently. Some may like it, some may not.
Right. People don't like change. Most people say, oh, I love change, but we are creatures of habit. And once someone gets used to seeing you a certain way and you go back to your natural color, if your family and friends are not prepared for it, in most cases they will feel uncomfortable because now they feel aged also. So you really want to kind of, let people kind of know. And
gradually ease into it.
Yes.
Okay. Just let it happen. Don't make it look like you've seen something frightful.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
There's also a technique you call the skip tint.
Right,
and
skip tint.
Explain what that means.
Okay, so it's very hard to just stop coloring your hair. You need to do a transition like what Chris did, add highlights in it or add dark. So what we recommend to most clients, they're kind of addicted to the hair color because we've been coloring 100% of their hair or they've been coloring 100% at home. What you want to do is phase out of that. So a skip tint is what a lot of salon professionals will do, where they will color 50% of your hair. You have to kind of wean them off that hair color so you can go back to the natural color.
You have a model here to show
Yes.
an example of that, right?
Yeah.
Nicole?
This is Nicole, and she has been a salon client for quite a few years, and when I first met her, she had a level, what we call 3 hair color, which is almost black.
Oh,
and you
wow.
can see by her eyebrows, that is close to what her natural hair color, you can see it used to be. Now today we're up 11, or excuse me, a 7. 1 is black, 10 is blonde. So we have left, she's 70% gray. We've left about 50% of her own colors mixed through it.
I don't really see gray. That's interesting.
It's all blended. And the best way to grow out hair color is to use a demi-permanent hair color, because what that will do, we just colored it yesterday, is it will darken a little bit, but then it fades and it wears off. For men, demi-permanent is the best way to color the hair. It has the least amount of red.
And you're not really dyeing the hair, you're just coloring out gray. In that
Well,
pattern,
we're putting color, but we're spot coloring. It's kind of like weeding your yard. You don't want to do the whole yard. You want to just hit the spots. So we de-emphasize and work with it.
Greg, good job. It really looks nice,
tips.
Nicole. Appreciate it. All right, I want to tell folks if they want to get a hold of you, they can at G-Best Salon in Northeast Portland. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, up next, what is this thing? It's we're going to have gadgets and gadgets. I'm supposed to have a thing on my desk here. I don't have
What
it.
is
but-
this thing?
Yep. Thank you. That's a noggin.
Yeah.
But we are going to play Guess the Gadget coming up here in just a little while. Stick around.